Hey y'all. So I'm sure you guys have heard by now that TikTok is supposedly getting banned. It's supposed to get banned on January 19th, and it seemed like it may happen this time. We're getting closer to the date, and I haven't had or heard any updates of them saving TikTok. Supposedly, Trump was supposed to, or he requested that they hold off on the ban to give him time to get in office to negotiate on saving the app. Okay. That's what I heard. I don't know how true it is or where he's at in that process, but it looked like TikTok is still scheduled to be banned. So I'm going to play this video, and y'all already know I'm going to talk about it.
Well guys, it looks like TikTok might officially be getting banned. There has been talks about this for a very long time, and now we're finally seeing the issue come to a head, and the matter is about to head to Supreme Court tomorrow. So 9 months ago, the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act was proposed to Joe Biden, who quickly signed this bill.
I just signed into law the national security package that was passed by the House of Representatives this weekend and by the Senate yesterday. It's going to make America safer. It's going to make the world safer, and it continues America's leadership in the world, and everyone knows it.
This was something that both Democrats and Republicans unanimously agreed on, that the App Store overall needed more regulation and less foreign involvement, especially from our enemies.
When it comes to media apps like TikTok, we are failing our children and we are failing our country. Why in the hell would we allow a foreign adversary like the Chinese Communist Party to control a technology platform and key source of information that reaches half of the United States population?
Like I said,
TikTok, I can see why they will be concerned, because we don't want them getting our information. I think that is a huge problem. I know a lot of people look past that and they just want the app to stay around. Because just imagine how many creators are going to be affected by TikTok being taken away. This ban is going to hurt a lot of creators. A lot of creators only do content on TikTok. There's a lot of businesses on TikTok. TikTok shop. A lot of people have TikTok shops, and they're making good sales. So a lot of people don't want to hear that, but it is a threat to the United States, and I think that is a big concern that people should think about.
TikTok specifically has been on the chopping block for years, as it has long been feared that China is using it as not only a tool to collect data and information on Americans, but also to launch what I see as the new digital war, the war on misinformation. Because of this, TikTok has been viewed as a threat to America's national security for quite some time. They even introduced a No TikTok on Government Device Act years ago to combat this potential information theft.
TikTok had to admit that, in fact, they'd been surveilling the locations of specific U.S. reporters that had been writing unfavorable stories about the company.
So basically, the government claims that TikTok got caught with their hands in our cookie jar. I mean, when you sign up on their platform, you do give them access to what you're watching on your phone, how long you're watching it, your private messages, your geolocation, your age, your search and browsing history, and even your keystroke data, and even that kind of just scratches the surface of what they can be looking at. Basically, it's kind of like you're leaving your front door open at night, hoping no one peeks in to see what's going on.
But hold on, because Google do the same thing, even though, they are, in the U.S. I'm just saying Google do the same thing too. Y'all so nosy. Honey, we can think about something, and next thing you know, it shows up on our phone. So Google, you guys do that too. Like other, companies does that as well. Allegedly, everything in this video is alleged, but I can see why they will be concerned though.
With over 170 million Americans currently using their platform on the daily, that is a lot of information they can be gathering. And in them passing that bill I mentioned earlier, they gain the ability to force TikTok to cut ties with their Chinese-based parent company ByteDance. It's either that, or they can lose all access to their American consumers, and this is something that could go into place as early as January 19th. I mean, they must really feel like China is up to something, as this was classified as an emergency, and the Supreme Court agreed to settle the dispute only 2 days after it was placed on their desk. Now, obviously, some people argue that this is a violation of freedom of speech. while the government says they're concerned with China advancing their own geopolitical interest and spreading misinformation, especially during a time of crisis. And the real worry for the freedom of speech crowd is that this would essentially open the door for the government to target other free speech platforms for the content they carry. I mean, I do have to say, I've seen far more propaganda and complete and utter nonsense posted onto Twitter in the last 18 months than I've ever seen on TikTok. And on the other side of things, TikTok has already said back last April that they are going to be refusing to sell the company and that it would actually be impossible for them to do so, with their reasoning being that they do not want to sell their secret sauce that makes their algorithm so addicting. And then to make matters even more interesting, Trump is actually directly opposed to the banning of TikTok.
And you'll never ban.
No, what I think it is they just don't want to sell their app. But I think they trying to play hardball. I really feel like that TikTok is playing hardball because they wanted to see how serious the U.S. was. Because they've been threatening to ban TikTok for the last couple years. I've been constantly hearing this. Last 2 or 3 years, this has, longer than that. It's been some time. And they've been threatened to ban TikTok and never did it. So I feel like the U.S. is like putting TikTok back up against the wall to see if they will go all the way to the end. And it looked like TikTok is going to go to the end. They just not willing to sell their app. I don't know how good that is for them, considering they have a lot of people from the U.S. that uses their app. So how that's going to work, I don't know, because they're about to lose a lot of users and people from all type of businesses and everything. What's up with TikTok Shop? Yeah, you might be able to, still have your clients or users from other countries. But U.S., come on now, like that's a big loss to lose us. TikTok not budging though.
Ban TikTok, that's for sure.
I will never ban TikTok.
Thank you.
Which is the opposite of the stance that he had back in his first term when he actually tried to get it banned.
We're looking at TikTok. We may be banning TikTok. We may be doing some other things. There are a couple of options.
But back then, Biden was actually the one to block the bill once he took office, so they straight up switched positions.
Yeah.
Pause. Trump actually met with TikTok CEO recently, and he praised the platform as a whole for helping him win the last election.
How do you plan to stop the ban on TikTok next month?
We'll take a look at TikTok. I have a warm spot in my heart for TikTok because I won youth by 34 points. And there are those that say that TikTok had something to do with it.
So now he wants there to be some sort of negotiation once he does take office. I would guess that he wants to use the platform as leverage over China's head, as he has requested that the Supreme Court pause this law's implementation until he actually gets into office. So we're gonna have to see what happens tomorrow, guys. I mean, this is crazy. This news just broke around 30 minutes ago. So I will continue to keep you updated, but y'all make sure you subscribe. I do want to know down below, how much are y'all...
Okay, so yeah, this we don't know what's going to happen. It's already the 13th, so they literally only have 6 more days. I haven't heard anything new. I know that Trump was trying to get them to hold off on this ban to give him time to get in office and negotiate and figure something out. But I know a lot of people, they love TikTok. I have never been really big on TikTok. I try to use it, or I try to get comfortable with it. I just don't know why TikTok has never really been my thing. But recently I have started using it a little bit more because it is addicting. When you get on the app, honey, you find yourself on there. You look at one video, next thing you know, 2 hours pass by. So it's very entertaining. But tell me what you guys think. Tell me what you think gonna happen. Have you heard anything different? As far as I know, nothing has changed, and on the 19th, it's still scheduled to be banned. So what do you guys think gonna happen? I'm hoping that even if it is banned, that they're able to bring it back and he's able to get in there and negotiate and make it come right on back, because that will be a huge loss for a lot of people, especially creators and business owners. So, yeah, just tell me what y'all think in the comments, and I am out. Bye, y'all.